After my husband died, my life became quiet, not peaceful, just quiet. For 40 years, I lived as a wife. Everything I did was connected to him. We did not live a rich life, but we lived an honest one. We built our home slowly, with small savings, with patience, with faith. That house was not just walls. It was our story. It saw our struggles, our arguments, our laughter, our prayers. I raised my children in that house. I cooked for them. I waited for them. I worried for them. Every corner held a memory. Then my husband got sick. At first, we thought it was temporary. Then hospitals replaced routines. Medicines replaced conversations. I became strong, because someone had to be. I held his hand. I stayed awake. I prayed silently. The day he died, I felt empty, not loud pain, just a deep, hollow feeling. The funeral passed. People cried. People left. And I stayed. Alone. My children were there, but they felt distant. I told myself, they are grieving, just like me. I stayed quiet. I stayed patient. I did not know that this was only the beginning. Days turned into weeks. The house felt different, heavier, colder. My children started changing. They spoke less to me. They avoided long conversations. They discussed things quietly. In corners, behind closed doors, I tried to stay normal. I cooked, I cleaned, I prayed. I wanted to keep the family together. One evening, my eldest son asked me to sit. His voice was calm, but distant. He said, "We need to talk about the future." My heart felt uneasy. He said, "You are alone now. Managing this house is difficult." My daughter agreed. She said, "It will be better for you to live somewhere smaller." I waited, hoping I misunderstood. Then my son said, "We think you should leave the house." Leave. The word felt unreal. I asked softly, "Where will I go?" They avoided my eyes. They said, "You can stay with relatives, or somewhere else." Somewhere else. The house where I lived my entire life. The house where my husband died. The house where I became who I am. They wanted me to leave it. That night, I did not sleep. I walked through every room, touching the walls, the kitchen, the hallway, the bedroom. I felt like a stranger. In my own home, I asked myself, when did I become a burden?
For days, I blamed myself. Maybe I loved too much. Maybe I stayed silent too long. I remembered every sacrifice. Every time I chose peace over pride, I felt small, unwanted, invisible. I stayed in my room. I spoke less. One avoided everyone. I cried quietly, so no one would hear. I felt ashamed for existing. One morning, while standing alone, I looked at myself. I saw a tired woman, but also a strong one. I realized something important. Losing my husband did not mean losing my voice. I was still alive, still capable, still worthy. That thought scared me and freed me. I realized I had spent my life being quiet, so others could be comfortable. I asked myself, what about me? That was the first time one chose myself. I called my children again. This time, I did not sit quietly. I stood. My voice was calm, but firm. I told them, this house is my life. I built it. I protected it. One belong here. I told them, I will not leave my home. The room became silent. They were shocked. They had never seen me like this. From that day, I changed. I stopped apologizing. I stopped explaining my existence. I set boundaries. Yes, some days are lonely. Yes, my children visit less. That pain is real, but peace is real too. I walk freely in my house. I sleep without fear. I lost my husband, but I did not lose myself. Sometimes, the hardest truth is this: even your own people may forget your worth, but remembering your own value is not selfish. It is survival.